my little party animals. Hiphiprenee here today with a brand new renovation build battle by Zamboxious-Sims. We do this just about every single month. Actually, Havana does it every single month. I did not participate last month. I had just way too many things going on, and the lot that she had picked was like really frustrating me, and I couldn't get it in. So this time we are renovating Chez Llama, which is one of the lots that comes with the Dine Out pack. Now, if you don't have the Dine Out pack, if you don't know what this pack does, basically you can own your own restaurant. So you can go into the game, and just like you would purchase a retail lot, you can purchase a restaurant and run the restaurant. So this is basically like the generic game restaurant that comes with the pack. So that way you don't have to, go in and build your own restaurant. It's not something that was provided to you in any of the worlds, because we did not get a new world with the Dine Out pack, but it was immediately put into the gallery for people who own Dine Out. And this restaurant is interesting. There's like this weird sunken area in it, which was giving me so many problems, just so many problems. I was trying to figure out what to do with it, and I didn't really want to raise it up because I don't know, I feel like it's a really nice focal point for the rest of the restaurant. I could be wrong. Maybe I should have just taken it out and just, done a flat downstairs along with the upstairs. But I did really like the idea of having a little sunken area, and then there is like a big open kind of lofty space up top. So I did end up keeping that. I do apologize for all of the camera movements mostly in just the beginning of this video. Once we get into the furnishings, it's not quite as bad, but coupled with the fact that there is this little sunken area, there is also the tall wall height, which you all hopefully know by now. The tall wall height is like my kryptonite. I hate working with the tall wall height. First off, I don't think that there's enough good doors and windows. I think we only have 3 doors that go with the tall wall height, and one of them is an archway. So one of them is not even actually a door, and it is extremely frustrating to work with the tall wall height. It's really hard to see around it, and it's not something that I put in my typical builds. But of course, with the renovation, you did have to keep, kind of the exterior shape. You had to keep, basically the structure of the build. As far as the exterior is concerned, you had to keep the actual structure, which basically means the walls. We could change out the windows, we changed around roofing and all that kind of thing, but the actual shape of the build itself we did have to keep. Now, we did have a few other rules with this one, and Havana was pretty clever with these rules, I do have to say. So one of the main ones is we could not use my first pet stuff, and we could also not use vampires. Now, I am hoping that I did not use either of those packs. I don't see myself using anything from my first pet stuff in this build anyway, just because it's not something that would go well with this style of build, but I may have accidentally used something from vampires. If I did, I guarantee it is something like super stupid and small, like a plant or a lamp or something like that. But I think I did okay not using it. I was having a hard time because I did build the first half of this pack before the new patch came out, and then I did the second half of the build after the new patch came out. So at some point during this build, you are going to notice that all of the icons on all of the items that I am selecting change from what we had before, which is that each of the icons kind of represented the color of the pack. So like cats and dogs was like a nice burgundy kind of color. We had seasons that has green, island living is yellow, and I feel like it was really easy to kind of distinguish what pack is what. But now that we have the update, all of the expansion packs are in the same colorway, all of the game packs are in the same colorway, and all of the stuff packs are in the same colorway. And the game packs and the expansion packs are very close in color to each other. And I'm not very good with like seeing colors as it is. So I had a little bit of a time trying to figure out, like, the icons are just so small too. I don't know, maybe I'm just having a bad week or something like that, but I was having a little bit of a problem trying to distinguish what pack is what, especially with that really light color, which I believe is for the expansion packs. I don't remember off of the top of my head, but seeing the white on that like tealish background just like kind of does not work for me. So if I use something from Vampires, I apologize. I'm so sorry, Havana. I didn't mean to, I swear. But we did have a few other rules as well. So obviously we had to keep the shape of the actual build itself. We also had to make it in an industrial style. So the little description that Havana gave us was basically that, you know, this restaurant had been run into the ground and someone bought it out, and the person that bought it out is like obsessed with the industrial style. So they decided to renovate Chez Llama and make it more of an industrial style restaurant. I don't know what the heck they are thinking, because this restaurant is in Willow Creek. And Willow Creek is not exactly the most industrial location in The Sims. So I think this is kind of, I was going more for the idea that, you know, this person who bought out the restaurant has some really high hopes and some really high dreams for this particular restaurant. And maybe they wanted to have a restaurant in downtown San Myshuno, or, you know, in some location that an industrial space might make more sense, but they couldn't afford one in a place that, you know, more industrial style builds are. So they decided instead to just buy out a restaurant in Willow Creek and just make it the way that they wanted to anyway. So I think it's really funny that this kind of like doesn't fit in with the rest of the neighborhood. Not that there's anything in this neighborhood, because this is one of my blank save files, but you guys know what I'm talking about. If you go into Willow Creek and you haven't deleted everything in your game, there's kind of a very distinct style to Willow Creek, and it is certainly not an industrial or a modern style by any means of the word. Something else that we had to do was include a fireplace, and it's because Havana wants to watch the world burn, and she knows how much I hate fireplaces in The Sims. So of course she made me put a fireplace in. So I did actually just stick the fireplace in the office that I was just creating upstairs. So what I did is I put 2 bookshelves on the side, I put the fireplace in the middle, and I put a TV over the fireplace, and that is where the new owner sits and hangs out and watches over his new restaurant. And there are no fireplaces in the actual restaurant itself. So I don't know if that's considered cheating, but I did it anyway. There is really no good spot for a fireplace, although I'm going to say that and then I guarantee I'm going to go around and watch everybody else's videos and be like, oh wow, yeah, no, that was a good spot for a fireplace, because everybody who's in this collab is super creative. We always come up with really fun stuff. Everybody's is always so different. Even when we have the same theme, like you can definitely see every single person's personality shining through their build. You will be able to check out all of the other builds down below. Everybody's YouTube channel and or Twitter will be linked in my description box below. So definitely be sure to go and check everybody else out, because this is, of course, a build battle, which means we are battling each other for the top spot in this renovation. So not only do we get to build this, but there is a vote at the end of this. So you will also see a link in my description box to the voting. So what you have to do is you have to go to the voting and choose who you think did the best renovation of Chez Llama. Obviously, I would love for you to vote for me. That being said, I have not seen everybody else's video as of recording this, because they do all drop at the same time on the same day. So that way none of us, you know, are influenced by each other or anything like that. So I have not seen what everybody else has come up with. I'm sure there are, you know, many amazing interpretations of this particular restaurant. So if you do see one that you like better than mine, don't worry, I won't be offended if you don't vote for me. But we do get bragging rights for the rest of the month in our little group chat, so that is pretty fun. Now we did also need to include a bar and an activity, whether that be like the llama game table, a karaoke machine, a bubble machine, that kind of thing. So I ended up going for the karaoke machine. And I did end up putting that upstairs, so I kind of figured that the downstairs area was more of the restaurant. So this is where you would come with, a date or your family or, whoever else it is that you are going to a restaurant with. And if you are just sitting down and having some food, you would be seated downstairs, which is right next to the kitchen. It is a semi-open kitchen, so there's just two big archways that lead into this kitchen. And then the actual cooking stations themselves kind of overlook out onto that little sunken area that has plenty of seating for all of your Sims that want to come to this restaurant and, just grab some food. So I did do that. And then upstairs is more of the bar kind of hangouty area. So upstairs you will see there is two bars. So there's one inside and there is one outside. I did notice while I was playtesting this one that the outside one seems to be the bar that gets the mixologist and the other one just kind of remains vacant. I do wish that restaurants would automatically staff all of the bars, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not mad at it. So there's some seating upstairs outside on a little balcony. There's also some seating upstairs in the little loft area. And then, of course, a really nice big karaoke machine. Obviously, this did have to be a restaurant. So if you download this from the gallery, it is listed underneath restaurant. You could, of course, change it to a bar or a lounge or anything else that your heart desires. I'm never opposed to anybody, kind of utilizing my builds and changing them up to work however you need them to work for your Sims. But we are actually coming to the end of the video pretty soon. This was a quick video. It was not a quick build. This took me a really long time, and it took me I spent the course of a few days actually working on this, which is not something that I typically do with my builds. I'm one of those people, if it takes me more than a day, I give up. I just can't handle it. But of course, I knew I needed to get this out at the appropriate time, so I did spend a little bit of extra time working on this one. If you guys did enjoy this build, please give it a thumbs up down below. If you're new here or you're not new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you get notifications every single time I post a new video. Don't forget to go check out everybody else's, renovations of Chez Llama. I'm sure they did a fantastic job. And then when you have finished checking everybody else's builds out, make sure that you go vote for your favorite. I can't wait to see everybody else's. And yeah, that's the end of the video. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.